everybody, welcome back to my channel, Fixing It Up with Sandra. In case you're new here, I'm Sandra, and today we're gonna do a fun Easter wreath with a lot of items from the Dollar Tree. I had to take a glance and see what I had. A lot of items from the Dollar Tree, but we will be using stuff that I've collected from other places. So let's point the camera down and get started, and I'll show you what we will be using today. All right, so here are the items that we're gonna be using. First of all, we're gonna be using a work wreath. And the reason why it's called a work wreath, this is for the beginners, is because it already has our little pipe cleaners on here. So I got this back during Christmas time, and this is an 18-inch work wreath right here. You could probably get a work wreath on, you can get them online. Not probably, you can. You can get these online. I don't know if the Dollar Tree sells this specific one on their website, in case you were wondering. But what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna kind of, lay out our, open up the pipe cleaners right here, like so. And if you are not using one of these work wreaths, I'll show you in just a second how to create your own. And we're just gonna pull these all up. There we go. Oop. All right, now how you can make your own. What you would do is get a pipe cleaner, go ahead, attach it onto a frame. This kind of got, I'm gonna leave it like that. Attach it to your frame, and you're going to attach it like so. And then when you get it like this, you're gonna lay it across like this, and that is where you're going to put your next set of pipe cleaners, okay? And then you do so like that, and then you lay it over. That's where your next one goes. I do have a tutorial about like how the difference between work wreaths and the regular wreath frames, and how to do placements, and I'll link that in the description box below just in case you're curious. So, all right, so we have this all set. I'm just gonna open these up, and we're gonna be doing like a farmhouse-esque. Actually, I don't need the top part yet. I'm gonna fold those in. We're just gonna make this a little bit easier. So again, if you have this is what we're doing. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Am I correct? Or 11? 1 second. 10. So we have 10 at the bottom, and then we have 9 in the center. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna work with a burlap mesh. I picked this up at a thrift store, so I'm going to be using this, and I actually already have a roll that is partially used. So I'm gonna use this first before I open that. I'm trying to reduce my half-used stash, so we're gonna be doing that. I also found some of this really beautiful, this is like burlap, I believe. Well, it's a fabricy type, and I absolutely love this. We're going to cut this mesh. We're not gonna cut this one. I'll show you in just a second. And then here is our, it's not gonna be a centerpiece sign. It's gonna be a little different, but this is what we're gonna use from the Dollar Tree. And then I'll go over the rest as we get there. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna take our main mesh, the one that we're gonna use the most of. I'm gonna go ahead and start with this. Kind of bunch it up, and we're just gonna do a poof method all the way around our wreath frame. So we're just gonna lay this into one of the pipe cleaners, give it a couple of twists, like so, and voila. Make sure your seams are down, like so. And I'm just gonna kind of toss this to the side real fast. And what I like to do is go ahead and measure all the way up to your elbows. And I want like a really nice big poof, since we're working with an 18-inch frame. And this is snagging on me. And so I'm gonna go from my hand all the way up, maybe just a little bit past my elbows, because I want a really big poof. So we're gonna place that into the next pipe cleaner and give it a twist. And you can open up your poof if you want, or you can wait till the very end and then open them all up once we have them placed on here. And you're just gonna repeat this process over and over. And don't worry if you're like, oh, I went a little past my elbow on this one. Maybe I went directly to my elbow on that one. It's not going to matter. Just, you know, roughly get it about the same, okay? And we're just gonna go all the way around the outside of this right now, okay? So, like so, and I'm sure I'm gonna run out of this mesh before I get to the center because we're gonna continue this one all the way around and then we're gonna come back into the centers, okay? And don't worry, like this one is pretty, I don't wanna say thin, but like see-through, but that's gonna change because we're going to be adding our thicker mesh like this into like a cruffle type, and we're gonna place that in here. It's gonna be so stinking cute. Okay, and this is pretty easy for beginner level, like especially what we're doing right now, because again, you don't cut. So if you make a mistake, don't worry. First of all, if you make a mistake, please don't worry. And you can just go back and undo your zip tie, or I'm not zip tie, but pipe cleaner, and then readjust it how you need to. But all right, here we go like this. And here we go. It's pretty simple. I'm just making sure that my edges are down. That's the only thing that I really want to be real sure of. Like so. And if you are wondering, if you're a beginner and you're like, okay, well, you're using part of a roll, but you have a whole roll, how much mesh do I actually need? This should be plenty for you, and this is a 10 by 10. I'm just, like I said, trying to use up what I can. I don't know if this is gonna work. No, I'm probably gonna have to open the other one just to get a couple of yards out of it. Maybe just one, but again, I'm trying to reduce waste. So, all right, so here we go. This is catching all over the place. All right, and don't forget to go back into the same pipe cleaner that you started with. All right, so I'm just gonna open it up, and you don't have to open it back up or anything like that. You can just lay it right on top, but I'm just gonna open it back up real quick and lay this piece down here. And then now we're gonna start on our second row. And again, there's no cutting involved whatsoever. You're just gonna continue on. There we go. I'm just gonna continue on until this is done. All right, and I like how they taped it instead of stapled it to the cardboard. And it looks like it's just enough to get my first poof going. And then just go into the immediate one that you see, like so. I'm gonna just do that real quick, and then we're gonna pull out this. And I'm not going to cut the end because I don't need to. It's just gonna be tied up anyways. All right, let's toss that one on the floor and continue on. Again, I'm gonna open this up. There we go. All right, now let's carry on. And as you can see, the mesh is starting to grab onto itself. And that's one of the things that I like about mesh, is that if you're worried about it, you know, becoming loose or whatnot, you don't have to worry. It will hold on to itself. So like so. We're gonna keep going around. It's gonna be nice and poofy and big. I love it. There we go. Every now and then I love a really big wreath, but I usually do a lot of the 14 inches, but this 18 inch is really fun to do. I did a really big one for 4th of July one year, and it just made me so happy. All right, and then just a few more, and we are there. And again, don't worry about if it's like a little see-through-ish, it's got like gaps or whatnot, because we are still not finished with putting the mesh on. I used to fret about that. I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, I can see through, it's not going to look good, all of the things, especially for us beginners. And I say us beginners because I still claim that I'm a beginner, again, even though I've been doing this for a very long time. There's always so much to learn. So I still say I'm a beginner. There. And we are just about back to where we started. And don't forget to place it in that last one that we started from. And I'm not going to cut it just yet until I place it into my pipe cleaner, and then I will cut the roll. All right, there we go. Perfect. And we can trim, looking for my scissors, we can trim the little edges or the start of them, you know, if you want to make it really, you know, small. So I'm going to cut off this little excess piece like so. I'm going to cut that little piece off, and then there we go. All right, so that roll is done. We're good with that. So this is what we have right now. Let me just adjust the camera so you can see exactly how this looks. Okay, so this is how it looks. And here's an up close, because like I said, you're gonna see gaps and whatnot. If you were me when I first started, I was worried. I'm like, oh my God, it's not gonna look good. But this is how it looks for right now. But we are far from over. We are still going to add this really pretty mesh onto the frame. And we're gonna cut 10 pieces because we're gonna put this all on the outer, pipe cleaners, okay? So I'm gonna kind of unroll this. This one's got it's caught. All right. And this is nice and thick. It's almost fabric-like. It's really, really pretty. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and cut. I'm going to cut this frayed edge off real fast, but I'm going to cut, let me see real fast, because we're gonna do 10 pieces, and I absolutely love these rollers from the Dollar Tree. All right, so let's do, sorry guys, this is how I'm working, just so you guys can see this in real time. Or not in real time, but like this is the reality of it. So I would like to cut it at 13. So here we go. We're gonna cut at 13, all right? There we go. Just wanna make sure I got it all. There we go. So you're gonna have a piece that looks like this. Now, the Cruffle method, let me point the camera down. Someday we will have an automatic one, but let me just adjust this. So what I'm gonna do is do it curl side down, tuck the edges. When I say tuck the edges, this is what I mean. Just kind of tuck them like so, and then you have a nice edge. And then you're just gonna scrunch till you get to the other edge. So like this, nice and scrunched. Once you get to the edge, you're just gonna tuck that in, and then you're gonna have a bow. You're gonna have a bow just like this. What you're gonna do is you're gonna bring your wreath back over, and you are going to place it into one of the pipe cleaners on the outside. And here, I'm gonna show you in just a few moments. All right. And I'm just gonna kind of fluff it up just a little bit. All right. Here's what we have. That's what it looks like. Super, super cute. So we're gonna repeat this process. We're gonna go again to 13. I'm not gonna make you watch me do every single one, but this is what we're doing. All right, there we go. Turn that in, scrunch up, and then tuck that edge. And then again, we have a bow. Find your next pipe cleaner on the outside and place your mesh in like so, and then give it a good twist. And we have 8 more to go, so I'll be right back just for time's sake. But let me just show you how that's looking. Super, super adorable, right? Let me get them all done and I'll be right back. All right, so now we have the outside all done. What do you guys think of that? Super, super cute. And because I still had a bunch of this mesh left over, because it was still pretty airy, I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna add this mesh into the center. Now, let me just tell you guys, there are 9 pipe cleaners on the center wreath, or the center ring, but I only was able to get 7 pieces out of the roll. We're gonna totally make it work, no worries. You just gotta pivot with this kind of stuff. So I'm gonna point the camera down again and we're gonna get started. Let me do so right now. All right, there we go. Oh, let me just adjust you because you're just a little on the crooked side. Okay, and we're gonna do the same process. So if you're doing what I'm doing, just trying to get rid of some excess mesh that you have. You know what that was? Oh, that was the end piece. I was like, wow, that was really long, but that was the end piece, and I just, you know, let it be the extra long. So we're gonna place this bad boy into right here. And again, nobody's going to say anything. You're not gonna be like, oh, you didn't have all pipe cleaners with this really pretty orange mesh. I wish I could remember where I got this from, and I'm sure you can find it anywhere else. Right now I'm going every other one, just on the inner row, side note, because I want to see where I'm going to put the extra pieces. So I'm just doing every other one, just to kind of have some little bit of uniformity, if that's even a word. And then we're going to place the other ones where I see fit. All right, right here. All right, we're just about done, and then we're gonna start decorating. So go ahead, get your glue guns all warmed up like I'm going to do right now. And that one, here we go. You could almost get away with just doing every other one if you wanted to, because now that I'm looking at this up top, yeah, super, super cute. There is one set of pipe cleaners that's located like within just like an inch away from it. So can skip that one. And then I've got 2 more. So we're just gonna place that somewhere here on the wreath. I hate when my phone says low battery, because I'm like, did y'all catch that? But anyways, all right. I'll see when I edit if it caught everything. So now I have 2 more pieces. I'm just gonna place them in here where I see the biggest gap. Do it directly across from each other. So there's a little bit of uniformity to this. All right. Super, super cute. I love this. And I was able to use up some rolls of mesh that I've had just laying around. The glue gun is heating up, so we're gonna start adding our design to this, because like I said, we're not doing a centerpiece, we're not doing like a big round sign or anything like that. Everything's gonna be glued on. All right, let me show you what this looks like. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just adjust a couple of my poofs just a bit, and then I'll lift this up. So here's the time, yeah, you can go ahead and adjust your poofs, kind of, you know, get it all filled out. So here's our wreath. Super, super cute, right? And very full. I love how it looks now. It's very full to me. Super adorable. So like I said, my glue gun is warming, and we are going to go ahead and pull apart what we're going to be using. So we're going to be using this really cute rusticy looking sign. Just going to pull the staples up. And the great thing about the dollar store signs is that the staples come out pretty easy for the most part. And then watch. Every time I say something, then the opposite happens. And we're going to use all 3 pieces. And I do have some carrots. So we might be adding that to the wreath. Again, I don't know just yet until I start gluing things down. Be careful if you're doing it like I am. These staples will come flying at you. There they go. All right. That's super cute, and then super cute. All right, let's point the camera down and get the glue gun going. And then we're gonna make a ribbon. We're only gonna make a big bow, and that's it. We're not gonna do a bunch of ribbon everywhere. But yeah, let's get started. Okay, so I just wanted to show you how I'm gonna place it on here. So as you saw, these 2 parts. So I'm gonna have my bunny right there. I'm gonna put Happy Easter right here. This is where the bow's gonna go. And then I'm gonna do a couple of cute little carrots right there. It'll all be glued on. You'll see, it's gonna be super cute, but that's what my idea is so far. Okay, so I'm trying to make sure that you guys can really see what I'm doing. I'm playing around with all these different angles. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I know that we still have our pipe cleaners kind of poking up. We'll adjust those in, once we're completely done. But I'm gonna go ahead and put some glue on the back of this. This is really, really hot glue, so trying to be careful and not burn my fingers. This is super adorable, very farmhouse. And I like the fact that it's pretty neutral. Even though we do have the pop of orange, it's very neutral. So we got that down. And then we're gonna do our happy. Just letting the glue kind of run around just a little bit before I place it on here. All right. I'm gonna do the carrots at the very last, or the very last step. Let me see, I'm gonna do a little bit of extra glue right there. Because I do have these little tiny carrots that I got from the Dollar Tree. So it's so hard when I have so many options, because I'm like, ooh, maybe this, ooh, maybe that. And I am a trinket person, so you know me, I'm like, are 2 carrots really enough? So here we go. So we got this, and now let's glue our bunny down. And you can always go back if you don't get enough glue on your items or on your little decor pieces. You can always go back and add more. Like I'll be adding some to the here. I just want to make sure that I don't get burned in the process. I do have like those rubber things for your fingers, but they're just so uncomfortable to use. I'm going to use my scissors. All right, so that's what we have happening right there. And now, okay, the carrots. Now we've got to deal with the carrot issue. Yes, oh my goodness. This is so hard to decide. Okay, we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna do it. Okay, it's final. It's permanent. It's gluing. So it's happening. And I do really like it, so. And these are pretty light. I think they're styrofoam. So do a little bit of glue right there. It's always, good to, My little cat is like, she taps on you when she wants to be petted or loved on. She's always like, excuse me, excuse me. So it's kind of jarring at times when you're like deep into something and then you feel this little when you're home alone when it comes to the adult. There she is. Do you see Nugget? All right. And now it's time to work on our bow. See her do the, let's work on the bow. Okay, so now we're gonna make our ribbon. And I got this ribbon from Costco during Christmas time, and that's gonna be our base. This is gonna be the one that we use the most of. And then I have a little bit left over of this really pretty orange that I got from the Dollar Tree. And then to top it off, to bring in the yellow that's on our sign that says Easter, we're gonna use this ribbon right here. And just so you know, again, beginners, this is all wired ribbon, because if nobody tells you, you won't know until you buy a bunch of ribbon and then some of it doesn't have wire, and then it's not really useful for this kind of craft. But I have my Bodabra right here. I love this Bodabra, and it is super helpful, especially when you're working with, you know, a bunch of ribbon, or maybe just in general, because I definitely need help. So what we're gonna do is, I'm thinking, how long is this? It's about 10 inches in length. So we're just gonna go like so, bring this down. And I'm just going to, we're gonna do a little twist right here in the center. Place that down, okay? And then we're gonna make our first loop of the ribbon, or bow. So we're gonna do like so. Let's go right there. That seems good enough. All right, and then you twist again, and then you make another loop, and you're gonna twist that. But to make sure that they're matching, because you don't want one loop bigger than the other, okay, I'm just gonna see, but I like to place them just so I know for sure, side by side. And look at that, they do. All right, and then we're gonna make our second loop. And then I'm just gonna go by what, you know, the length off of this one. The second, don't forget to twist right here. So I'm just gonna make sure that they're the same. Right now I'm smashing them down, but I'll poof them up in just a minute. It just helps me when they're a little bit flattened out while I'm making it. And then, so we have 2 loops of the brown. I think that's all we really need for this. And then what we're gonna do is add my tail right there, and then my tail right here to make it match. All right, I'm gonna cut the little edges, or the ends, make them all nice and fancy. There we go. All right, so we have our bow right here, and I'm just gonna adjust it just so I can see what this is gonna look like when I put it on to my wreath. There we go. All right, so now we're gonna do the orange. Now I'm already very aware that I have very little, so this is what I like to do when I know that I don't have very much ribbon. I'm gonna go ahead and use it all. So I'm gonna go ahead and unravel this. There we go. And I'm not worried about the end because we're eventually gonna cut it. So maybe do the same length right there. And again, twist. And then I'll do 1 loop like so. Do the little twist. And then 1 more. Twist. Or you don't have to twist because this is the last one. My apologies. And then perfect. So we have perfect. And then we're just gonna cut these ends and make them all cutesy. we go. Ta-da! So now we have our bow. Now we're gonna do our last one, which is this really cute plaid color. And this is more of like a really nice silky type, but we're just gonna do a couple of these and then zip tie this and put it onto our wreath. And I'm not gonna go to the same length as the orange and the brown. I'm gonna kind of make it just a little bit shorter. And then do the twist, same thing, but I'm not gonna go as big as those bows are. We're gonna do it just a little bit smaller. Don't want it too short, there we go. Right there. This is just like a little bit of it's just the accent color. All right. We're gonna do 2 loops of these. Go. And you know what, just because I'm gonna make this one even smaller than the one previous. And you can make your bow any style you want. You can use way more ribbon than I'm using. Oh, you don't need to do that because we're just gonna let this one fall till right about there. And then again, make the fancy little cut. And then I'll show you how we're gonna attach this. Okay, let me go grab a zip tie and then I'll be right back. I'm gonna go ahead and put the zip tie underneath everything. Put it all underneath right here, like so. I'm gonna bring it up really slow, but I'm gonna go ahead and start to interlock it. Now you can put that, if you remember, you can put the zip tie through here to begin with, and then it's just easier to pull up. I didn't remember it, and it's okay if you don't. So then I'm gonna go ahead and start to close this and then put the, this in the back. I'm gonna get it nice and tight. Just do any adjustments that I need to before I actually close it all the way. Just make sure your ribbon and everything is good. All right, got it nice and tight. Flip it over, cut this off. Now let's attach it to our wreath. So we're gonna get ready to attach our bow right here, but before we do, just so I can kind of tug on it a little bit more, I'm gonna open up all of the poofs, because remember I flattened them out a little bit. So I'm gonna open all of the poofs up, so, like so. It's gonna be so cute. And see how this yellow will pull that out? It's super cute. There we go. All right, so now we're gonna take one of our zip ties, whichever one you want, and we're gonna wrap it around our bow. So that'll cover the zip tie that you have around the ribbon. Oh, there we go. There we go, super adorable. And now what you can do, now that we have completed our wreath, this is why I wait till the very, very end to cut my pipe cleaners, because I never know if I'm going to add anything else, and I would hate to cut them before I was finished. Because like you guys know, if you guys have watched multiple videos of mine, I change my mind all the time. All right, bring these down, bring these tails down. So let's go ahead and zoom out and I'll show you exactly what this looks like. All right, guys, what do you think? Super cute. I do love the carrots. I do have a bunch of mini carrots, but I'm not going to add them to this wreath. I want to keep it just the way it is. I love the bow. And like I said, it helps with that yellow right here. Super, super cute. Very neutral, very rustic-y kind of colors. I know usually with Easter, it's normally bright and whatnot, but we went a little bit dark this Easter and I love it. So like I said, now the last part is to go ahead and just cut these off and then tuck them behind so they don't stick out and hurt somebody. But other than that, what do you think of this style of Easter and everything that we've added to it? Super, super adorable. All right, that is it for today's episode. I hope you love this wreath as much as I do. I really love the colors of it, the neutral colors of it. So anyways, if you like this tutorial, give it a thumbs up, especially if you want to see more, comment below what you like and what you don't. Make sure that you are subscribed to my channel because I don't really have a schedule. You just never know when I'm gonna upload something. So make sure that you also hit that notification bell and tell all your friends. Share this, and I really, really hope that you like this, but I will see you guys again in my next tutorial. So let's do a different style next time.